There was a guy named John Stott, great preacher and evangelical, and he came to speak at Wheaton College. The last time he ever spoke there before he died. And they set up 4 microphones on this big auditorium in various locations. And any student could ask him any question he wanted. And the one student asked him, well, Dr. Stott, how do you reach a postmodernist for Jesus? And my experience was more people were talking about postmodernism than really reading about it. They didn't know what they were talking about. But Stott gave a real tight description of postmodernism and deconstructionism. And I was impressed with his definition. And then he said, the way, though, to reach a postmodernist for Jesus is by living an authentic life. And when I heard him say that, I went into existential despair because I'm not authentic. I believe in love, but there have been times I've had sharp words with people I say I love the most. I believe in justice, but there have been times I've been unfair in my treatment of another. I didn't set out to be, but I realized I had been. So I thought to myself as I went out that auditorium that day, I don't think I'm going to reach many postmodernists for Jesus because I'm not an authentic person. And then by the time I got to the narthex of that chapel, that huge chapel, it seats 2,500, I thought, I think there's only been one person who's lived their humanity the way it should be lived. That's Jesus. And I started thinking then the whole question changes. How does an inauthentic person begin to reach the person for Christ? And I think it's by being honest about our inauthenticity. And if we can be honest about our inauthenticity, it seems to me when we share the gospel, we know that before the gospel could be good news, it's got to be bad news, Frederick Buechner says. C.S. Lewis says you've got to awaken in people a sense of sin if you're going to tell them the good news. You don't begin by pointing theirs out. You begin by being honest about your own struggles that last week. And it makes us basically more honest. And consequently, we say to somebody, I know this works. And the reason why I know it works is because I've experienced it in my own life. And you begin to start from there.